Well, hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Randy, and I really enjoy making vacation videos, all sorts of vacation videos. And so I was thinking that, now that I've been on several cruises, I don't consider myself, an expert by any means, but I have been on several cruises now. And, I thought it would be a good idea to maybe help out people that are first-time cruisers. In other words, if you were a family or a loved one, that came to me and said, what can you tell me to help me make my first cruise, the best it can be or whatever. So today I'm going to give you some helpful hints, some helpful tips, whatever you want to call it, for your first cruise, okay? And the very first tip that we're going to talk about, the very first hint we're going to give you, is dealing with when to book your cruise, okay? Generally speaking, you have two best windows for booking a cruise. And that's going to be either super early or super late. What I mean by that is, generally speaking, if you can, the further out that you can book a cruise, you're going to get some really good prices then. Or if you can, wait till almost the last minute. And sometimes these cruise lines will have like a flash sale deal because they're trying to fill up their cruise. They're trying to go ahead and sell it out, so to speak. So there's your two booking windows. In between is going to be okay, but the further out that you can book it, or the closest to that you can book it, is probably going to be where you're going to find your best deals as far as pricing for a cruise. The second thing that I want to talk about is online check-in. Some people don't think it's a big deal. Me and my wife, we do. Whenever your online booking window opens, typically it's going to be late, like, midnight, 11 o'clock at night, somewhere around there, depending on the cruise line. You want to book online as early as possible. So in other words, if the booking window opens up at midnight, if you can, take a nap during the day, do what you got to do, but try to be on there as close to midnight as possible to get. And the whole reason for that is you want maximum time on that ship, okay? You want your vacation to start as early as possible. Therefore, you want to be on that cruise ship as early as possible, okay? I can tell you from personal experience, if you want to get on the Aqueduct or the Aqua Mouse or the, anything else that, as far as the best slides or best entertainment, whatever, that they have on that cruise ship, that's going to be your best chance to virtually walk on to that, whatever that ride is or wherever that attraction is that you're trying to get on. Is earlier the better. So you want to book online, and let me know in the comments if you'd like. I can link. I've got a very step-by-step process video on my channel explaining the online booking process. It's not super hard, but there are some pitfalls that we can help you avoid, hopefully, on that video. So the next thing that I would say as far as booking a cruise is a passport. Now, no, you don't have to have a passport, but I'm here to tell you, if you have the means to do so, it'll make your whole trip a lot smoother, a lot more efficient, and just a lot faster, okay? Take my word for it. If you can get a passport, get a passport. Again, I know you can do it, a birth certificate. I get that, okay? It's not a must-have, but I'm here. I'm giving you some helpful hints. A passport will make your life as a cruiser a whole lot easier and faster and more convenient. So that's the other thing. Consider that. The next thing I'd like to talk about are excursions. And I'm sure everybody's got their own opinion about these. There's no doubt that if you book your excursion outside of the cruise line, directly from the port, there's going to be some money to be saved there, okay? Elisa and I personally, we're scared to death to do that because we have seen those videos of those poor people that get left on the dock because they're too late for whatever reason. We always book through the cruise line, okay? Maybe one day we'll step out of our comfort zone and book outside the cruise line, but we always book our excursions through the cruise line. It makes us feel better about it. Also, depending on the cruise line, some of these excursions will sell out pretty quick. So again, that goes into the camp of booking early, okay? The earlier that you can book these excursions, the better. So again, whether you book through the cruise line or not, it's entirely up to you. My helpful hint is if you want to do excursions, then you want to book them as early as possible, okay? Speaking of, also on port days, this is a really big hint and a really big tip for first-time cruisers. Let's say it goes to a port that you're honestly not that excited about. You really don't, you don't have any excursions you want to do and you're not that crazy about the port. Stay on the ship, okay? Stay on the ship and take advantage of all the things that cruise ship has to offer. Whether it's activities, slides, rock climbing things, flow riders, roller coasters, whatever. Or it's that aqueduct slide or aquamouse or anything like that. And you can virtually walk on to most of these attractions and most of these activities because everybody else is going to be in port, okay? Also, you can take this time to really explore the ship, take a look around, see everything that ship has to offer, okay? Generally speaking, when you're on port days, if you're not excited about the port, that's a great time to take advantage and really have a good time on this cruise ship that you paid so much money to get on. Next hint is talking about gratuities, talking about tipping. And this one here is probably somewhat controversial. You may have some people that have strong opinions on either side of these. Elisa and I typically, we prepay our gratuities so we don't have to worry about it, okay? And there's a lot of people that like that, the convenience of that. You just prepay it and you say, oh yeah, but what if you don't get, really good service? I am sure that if that does happen, which knock on has never happened for us, but I'm sure that if you do have a really bad experience, I'm sure that you can go to, the customer service desk and you can remove those gratuities as long as the cruise hasn't ended yet. But we've always gotten absolutely stellar service. Our main cruise line to this point has been Disney Cruise Line, and their service is, of course, legendary. I've also gone on a Carnival cruise, and the service there was amazing as well. So we feel good about prepaying our gratuities. And if, we feel like a certain member of the crew has really, really gone over and above, we do two other things, and these are also big hints for you. We make sure at the end on the survey, we make sure that we mention these people on the survey and go into a brief explanation of how they were so exceptional. This scores major points for these people on the crew. It gives them all kind of benefits, I understand. So that's what we do. The second thing that we do, if we feel that a crew service member has gone over and above, is we will give them extra cash or other types of tips on top of the normal gratuity as a just to reward them for their amazing service. Okay, next hint: beware of add-ons. Okay, beware of add-ons. And right now, Elisa and I, we just recently booked our first cruise with Royal Caribbean. We are extremely excited. We've heard really good things about it. But as we are doing our research into Royal Caribbean, this is one that I absolutely see add-ons and so on. Now, no one makes you do add-ons, okay? You can absolutely, and I know this for a fact because I did it on Carnival. I went on Carnival, I paid my my cruise fare, and I didn't pay another dime. I didn't buy anything. I didn't upcharge anything. I didn't buy any drinks. I didn't go to any specialty meals. Nothing at all. Okay. So the good news is that there's never going to be any type of like, oh, you have to pay. That's not the case. But beware of, you know, semi-sneaky fees. Don't forget, sometimes these cruise lines, they may advertise a certain price, not counting port fees and taxes and so on, okay? And all of a sudden, when you add those in, that price is going up. So make sure that you're very, very diligent when it comes to pricing out cruises. Getting back to my point, be leery of add-ons. And again, it's your money. If you want to go to Chops Grill, you know, if you want to pay for the entire ultimate drinking package, the super deluxe drinking package for a cruise ship, go right ahead. Just be aware that that is going to sometimes double the original quote of that cruise fare. You know, it might have said $1,000. Well, if you get the drink package for 2 people for 7 days, it's probably going to be well over $2,000 just for that. Another really big hint is drive in or fly in the day before your cruise. If your cruise is departing on a Friday, you want to fly in or drive in on that Thursday, okay? Why? Because stuff happens, okay? Flights are delayed, traffic, just stuff can happen, okay? So if your boarding time is, let's say, 1 o'clock p.m., you know, on a Saturday, and you decide you're going to fly or drive in that Saturday morning, that is a recipe for disaster, okay? There is a chance that a flight's going to be delayed, a flight's going to be canceled, and this, that, and the other, and you're going to miss that boarding window, and here's a cruise you paid for, and you can wave bye-bye, okay, as you miss it. So absolutely 100% recommend that you get in the day before your cruise so that you are, you know, ready, settled, and everything else, all that's good to go. Obviously, you want to have all your paperwork, your boarding pass, everything else together for embarkation day, okay? Whenever you're actually getting on the ship. You want to have your ID, you want to have your passport, and your boarding pass. Most of the time, all you're going to need probably is your ID and your boarding pass, okay? But just have all that stuff ready to go. That way there's no issues, there's no problems, there's no slowing down. It's a very smooth process, you know, from the terminal right onto the ship, okay? Another big hint for you. Another big hint is once you're on the ship, and this is one of the reasons why Elisa and I really love cruising, do what you want, okay? Unlike perhaps a theme park, okay, vacation, where somebody's on the phone tracking wait times and openings and everything else, and you've got, you know, dining appointments at a certain time, you've got reservations for this, reservations for that, and, you know, it's exhausting. On a cruise ship, although you can certainly make reservations, the great thing about a cruise ship is you can go at your own pace. You know, you can go at your own pace and you can do what you want when you want. If you want to find a lounge chair on the side of the pool and absolutely just chill right down the side of the pool, people watch and suntan, you can do that. If you want to do like Elisa and I love to do, and you want to go from trivia to trivia to trivia to music, guessing, to game shows and everything else during the cruise, you can do that. If you want to go to the movie theater like I do and go watch movies, you can do that. If you want to go to the shows at night and watch, whether it's a Broadway style, you know, Disney classic on Disney Cruise Line, or some of these amazing shows that they have, I've heard, on Royal Caribbean, you can do that. If you want to stay in your room and just relax in the room, order room service, you can do that. Okay? So what I'm saying is, do what you want on your cruise. You know, obviously you want to think about, have a game plan going in. You know, if there's a certain restaurant you want to go to, if there's a certain activity you want to do, and plan for that. But outside of that, do what you want to do. You know, make yourself happy on the cruise. That's the whole point of going on vacation, is to have a good time. Okay. The next hint, and I'm going to be wrapping it up with this one, I believe, is going to be, take advantage of these islands, these private islands that these cruise lines have. Whether it's Perfect Day at Coco Cay, or whether it's Disney's Castaway Cay, or Carnival's, you know, new one, the one they just opened up down there. You know, take full advantage of that. Get off the ship as early as you can and go and take advantage of everything that these private islands have to offer. Again, be warned that on some of them, some of the things are going to have an upcharge. Okay, I know for a fact at Coco Cay, the water slides and like the adults only area are going to be an upcharge. So you certainly want to look into that. But there's plenty. I understand there's plenty to do at these places for Royal Caribbean that you don't have to pay anything extra for. And again, I want to highly recommend that you consider subscribing to this channel, because when Elisa and I go, you're going to come with us, okay? And we'll be able to tell you all about Coco Cay and the rest. So please consider subscribing to the channel. It supports me a lot. It's supporting this channel, and it really, really lets me know that you guys are interested and that you're enjoying your channel, you're learning something, and it's helping you, okay? So I appreciate that. But yes, absolutely go to these islands, and most of the time the food is absolutely free, and sometimes, depending on the cruise line, the drink package follows you, all right, on the island as well. Luckily at Castaway Cay, I can tell you virtually everything is included at Castaway Cay. The beaches are included, the adult area, all the food, all right. The beach, of course, most of it is included. And yes, they do have some things that you can pay for, the snorkeling and the paddle boarding. I've got a hilarious video about our last paddleboard session. I'm not proud of it, on the channel if you want to check that out. All right, but just take advantage of it. You know, go and enjoy the beach, enjoy the unbelievably beautiful water that are found on these private islands, and just have a wonderful time. The last little hint that I'm going to say before I wrap this video up is debarkation, okay? Whenever you leave the ship, just decide which way you want to go with it. Most of these cruise lines will give you option A, option B, as far as perhaps putting your luggage outside your door if you want them to take it, okay, and get it outside and get it ready for you. Or if you want to yourself bring your luggage, there's a certain different ways that they can do that. But I'll tell you this, going back to the passport, debarkation, I can tell you, goes a lot faster and smoother with that passport, okay? So again, if you can swing that passport, I highly recommend it. Guys, did I miss anything? If I missed anything on the video, please feel free to let me know. Drop it in the comments and say, hey, Coach, you know, you forgot, you know, this. Or, hey, Randy, you forgot this. Or, why didn't you talk about that? I'd appreciate any and all, and I will respond to any and all comments that are made on this channel. Speaking of the channel, next week, Elisa and I will be traveling to Epcot. I'm going to do something that I've wanted to do for a long time as a scuba diving enthusiast. I'm going to be diving at Epcot, okay? They have that special dive that you can do within Epcot. I think it's called Dive Quest. And Elisa and I are going to spend the day at Epcot. I'm going to go dive, and I'm going to bring you guys along for that. So that's something to look forward to. And then, in the very near future, Elisa and I will be on the Utopia of the Seas, our very first Royal Caribbean cruise. And we are both just so excited about that. And we're going to be bringing you guys along. So if any of this sounds like, if this video helped you, and any of this sounds like something that you'd be interested in watching, please consider subscribing to the channel one more time. Hey, give us a like, drop some comments, support the channel. I certainly appreciate you, and I will see you on the next one.